Welcome my allies from all around to another episode on Craftaway. I am Frontline, and in today's episode we are going to be working on this place here. You may recognize it if you have seen other episodes of Craftaway, but for those of you who have not, this is our blaze farm on the server. Now our good buddy Klautos is the one who made this blaze flusher. If I remember, in the top right hand corner of the screen there should be a video to the tutorial to build this thing, so you guys can kind of see how it works and all that stuff, but basically you flick a lever, it ends up pushing a bunch of pistons so that eventually these blazes fall down into the middle where they can be here. This is definitely a very cool thing that many people use quite often, but it is definitely something that has been added to and modified a lot over time. We have like a community lapis thing with like enchanting stuff. We added some anvils in earlier. We have a blaze softener courtesy of Suncorp because guess what? We actually have water in the nether, and it looks really weird. It's not blue, it's reddish for some reason. Kind of looks like strawberry jam in my opinion, maybe like a little bit watered down strawberry jam since you can see through it, but nonetheless, you kind of go through and be able to pull down this lever, wait for them to get like mashed up a little bit. They kind of bounce up and down inside of the water, and eventually after a little bit you just kind of like let it go like this, and then you're able to get them in one hit. I also have like a sword that's like plus 10 damage, I think. Oh, 13. I didn't realize that. Okay, so in the other editions of the game it would have been 10, but since this one hasn't actually had the combat update yet, it's actually like 13 plus damage. So yeah, this place is nice, but definitely like ever since like everything got added, like this part was like an addition, this part here was an addition. We added some chests, an armor stand, an ender chest, all kinds of random things here. There's like a balcony where I guess you can kind of sit and like chill if you want to, and yeah, I feel like this place needs a bit of revamping. It's not at all consistent in its style. We have like random netherrack built up here, so that's what we're going to be doing this episode. We're going to actually redesign this place with a design I created in my one build a day series. If you have heard about that series, that's definitely like I don't know actually how I'm wording this. So that series is actually the one in which I think on day 7 I built a design that I could use on Craftaway. Block for block, it should be able to work with the scale here, and that's what we're going to do. So let's actually gather some resources first. I already gathered quite a bit. As you can see, I have like lots of wood, I have nether brick blocks, and I have stone, but we only have a little bit of scaffolding. I think that we're going to need a little bit more just to make sure that whenever we fall down and try and pile up and do random things, that we need to be able to have a little bit more flexibility for that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut ahead in the video until we're over at the shopping district, in which I'm going to buy up and probably be the first customer for the scaffolding shop that's over there. Oh, I forgot to turn off the blaze farm. Let's go ahead and head back, and then we'll go to the scaffolding shop. So yeah, don't yell at me for forgetting to turn it off. I didn't. I mean, I kind of did, but I also didn't. So shush. Wait, I did turn it off? Okay, now I'm a double derp. Okay, I did remember to turn it off, but I forgot to remember that I turned it off. Oh, okay, whatever. Let's just go to the shopping district already. So in a previous episode of Craftaway, I did show off this build here, which I believe was Feel Good Ink, if I'm correct. Yep, that is what it's called. And it's where you can get a bunch of potions and things. Got the windmill from the Gorillas video. And over here, attached to it, is actually the scaffolding. So both these are built by Sunfire, and we're going to actually be able to be a customer of his again. But before we actually head up there, I'm quite hungry. And from the last episode, I ended up getting a bunch of cookies from Foxxie. So I have a bunch of those that I can be able to eat for the rest of this episode, as well as some milk, just in case I get a little bit parched as I go through. So let's just be able to eat this as we kind of go up, just because the scaffolding, like we can go up at the same rate, it shouldn't slow us down too much. And now we're already up here and quite full. So right here it says buy 5 stacks and get the 6 stack free. I don't actually know the pricing of this. I've never really been here before. So 1 stack of scaffold for 1 diamond. Let's actually see if anyone has bought any of these. Because I'm very curious if we are the first customer. We're not the first customer anymore. Oh, that's sad. I kind of wanted to be. But anyway, it says... Oh, that's a really good deal though. I wasn't going to buy that much. But... that's such a shady business practice. Well, not really shady, but it's a good business practice that I wouldn't have bought that much, but since it's such a good deal, I might as well. I might as well go ahead and buy that much. So, yeah, I believe it's 1 for 1, so all I need to do is use up 5 diamonds from my chest here. I'm glad I decided to actually store most of my diamonds inside of my ender chest so that I'm able to go ahead and go everywhere. So let's go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the 6th one will be free. So there we go, able to buy a ton of that, and now we should be fine to not fall down, or not worry about falling down as much as we go ahead and do this project. And since we have Elytra, we can just go ahead and fly all over the place, which is awesome. And say hello to our little drowned friend that for some reason is stuck here. Doesn't even seem like there's any barrier blocks like surrounding him, it's just he's literally just chilling. So later on, man, I feel like you gotta be name tagged because you are definitely such the weirdest thing I've seen here. That you're just like don't care about anything. He must be the shopkeeper actually. He probably just got like recruited for a job or something. So yeah, we'll go away from there, head back, and hopefully be able to make lots of progress on this build. Wrong way. So most definitely the first thing I'm going to fix while I'm doing this is this little elevator here. So this minecart elevator, while it's amazing and goes up very fast and quick and... Oh, that was accidental. Easy so that I can be able to go up here. I need to actually remove this thing. The only problem with it is that it's a little bit netherracky as you go down. It doesn't have that good of an entrance. Well, I say that like trying to not like offend anyone, but I'm all like, it's also just netherrack, so no one decorated this, so I shouldn't be hurting anyone's feelings, hopefully. But this thing is definitely like the thing I'm going to do first. So it's just because it's the thing that needs to be done first. So I've got my shulker box full of the nether brick blocks here. It's going to be fully encased with the stuff, and hopefully it will look good by the end of this thing here. Oh boy, this is going to be fun. Just realized that, yeah, it's pretty much open nether except for this area here. So, yeah, the scaffolding blocks are definitely going to help me as I try and traverse this area to hopefully be able to not plummet my death into lava. It seems as though the lava is somewhere else over there, so it shouldn't matter that much. And oh my, those are blazes. Oh my, those are... Yeah, they can hit me from there. They saw me immediately and just tried to attack. Okay, so this is going to be a lot more deadly than I originally anticipated, but I also kind of realized it was going to be deadly from the beginning. So hopefully this won't be too bad and I'll survive. I do have my scaffolding on me, so that should be alright for me to be able to just plummet down and not worry. But yeah, this is going to be... Oh boy. I just can't even put into words how much I am nervous for this. And that was already... Well, I'm going to have to break these anyway, so that shouldn't be that big of a deal. And I'll catch it back up once this is done, because I could ramble on all day about how terrible this is and how much I have to deal with these evil stinking blazes. I'll just catch you back up in the next clip. Alright, so we were able to get that whole entire thing done. The elevator works quite fine in how you expect it. We have the ladders facing towards this wall away from where the blazes are over there. Oh my, Racecrafter drowned. That's not something that happens every day. But anyway, let's continue on. You basically just keep on going. You can see the Y coordinate does say that we're going up, and unlike what it was before, the ladders do stay on this side the entire time. Previously, there was one ladder that was on this block that right at the end, so it wasn't very consistent, and I wanted to change that so that all is one way, You basically just face to the right. The ladders are on the back of you, and once you fall down all the way, you end up going directly into this area here. So now the only thing I gotta do, well, I've got a lot of things to do, but one of the things is to be able to actually like clear out this netherrack area here and be able to expand this place so that we have a little bit more room to do things. And this is when the scaffolding is really going to come in use, because previously, although the scaffolding was useful, I used it all the way up to the top so I could replace things a lot easier and keep working my way down. This case is going to be a lot better, and I just realized I'm in the wrong texture pack again. Let's go ahead and change texture packs in the next clip, and yeah, I'll catch back up at that point. So we're already making quite a bit of progress here. You can see that the general shape is starting to take place. Up here I did have a little bit of scaffolding because I wanted to make sure that the redstone here was still lining up properly, because I actually had to replace the blocks that it was standing on with these stairs to make the room as open as possible. Like, I designed it with the redstone in mind to make sure that even when the stairs were there, the redstone would still be able to be on top of it and everything. And yeah, we're approaching the point where I probably need to get rid of this water, but it's so convenient because I kind of don't like when the blaze are spawning. Like, I've left this thing on so that like the blaze could just fall down and like you know, just be taken care of without causing too much lag. And I think I'm going to have to make sure that I don't make them like pile up too much as I build this thing. But yeah, we'll see how that ends up working. Hopefully everything will go good with that. And yeah, I'll have to catch it back up once I make a little bit more progress on this room though. In the center of the room, we have an enchantment table. So instead of it being in the corner, we're going to have it straight in the center, able to walk right down to it. If you don't want to walk right down to it to be able to enchant things, you'll be able to go across the side. I'll still move the blaze softener to the other side of this so that this place will be more open. Like I said, it's just I've been having it like this so that whenever the blazes drop down, they just immediately get taken out by the water. But you may also notice that there's actually a missing book here. I haven't tested if this actually goes... Actually, we can try that now. It does go to 30, which was what I thought it did, but I'm also like, I don't really like when it's not symmetrical. So I'm going to use these hidden crafting tables to be able to get myself a bookshelf that I can place down right about there. So there we go. One last thing is, actually we can probably rename this dropper if we wanted to. I think, yep, it goes right down there. We can use the anvils here, be all like, hey, this thing is going to now be called Community Lapis. And, oh, dang it. I pressed escape instead of actually staying on the screen. I'm used to writing signs, that's the reason why. So, Community Lapis. I'm pretty sure I'm spelling lapis, right? So there we go. We can go ahead and have that. Place it down right here. And you may remember that there was Community Lapis over here. Well, there's none of it anymore. It's only just like some enchanted books and stuff. And it says like, please keep here. So I am going to keep it here. It's just going to be in the background, not actually in the new room at all. So what I'm going to do is go into my ender chest here, grab some of this lapis lazuli. And yep, I did spell the lapis right, so we can go ahead and fill this thing up. I have a ton of lapis, so it really doesn't matter that I'm filling this whole entire thing up. And there we go, we have a nice little enchanting station that anyone can go ahead and use, and it'll all be fine and dandy. Now I'm going to go ahead and try to reorganize the stuff that goes in the back here, re-implement the redstone, and hopefully by the end of this episode, have the chests on the side that are supposed to store the items. We'll see if that gets fixed or not. I have no idea. So I'll catch it back up at that point. So something I did forget to actually mention in the last clip is that I was going to eat cookies for the rest of the episode, but I think I might run a little bit short. I'm down to 7 cookies. I'm going to be eating like quite a bit here. More here too. So I think that now that I'm going to be like kind of going down to like the last bit here, it seems only suitable that I go ahead and like drink the milk, which I don't think made a sound effect for some reason, I don't know, and be able to just keep on chomping, and eventually I'll go to my backup food supply in here of my cooked beef after I eat my entire Christmas present. Yeah, it's not good to eat this much cookies in one sitting, or one day, I mean, but yeah, we'll go with it. I think that it'll be fine. Even though it's not the best diet in the world, it's a delicious diet. Let's go with it. So yeah, I'll actually catch you back up now that I'll make some progress, and you know, I may or may not have cookies in the next clip, depending on what happens next. Alright, so I just rewired the redstone, and I think you guys are going to be interested in how I did this, because it's now a button instead of a lever. You may have remembered last time that, you had to flick it up for on and down for off. Now, just by the press of a button, now it's on, and you can hear the pistons upstairs too, and then you flick it again, and then like every piston turned off. So back here, basically how this works is that it goes into a T flip-flop, a very simple design, just using droppers and a pattern here. This one's facing directly upwards. This one is facing into this dropper. So it basically kind of does a loop. Whenever a stick is inside of this dropper, it ends up giving a signal saying that it's off. It locks this area here so that the clock does not run. And then the only other state it can be in is the stick ends up being here instead, meaning that this is not locked. This redstone torch turns on to indicate that it is on, and everything runs just like it did before. So it's the same exact redstone clock as before, it's just I rewired it in a slightly different manner so that it can be used with a button instead of a lever. To demonstrate how I'm going to implement a system that will allow for blazes to automatically be water flushed without having to time it out yourself by flicking the lever down for a certain amount of time, I'm going to demonstrate this using a normal piston, because a sticky piston would move this slab down, pouring water down, and that wouldn't really cause much of a problem. It would only get rid of the torch, but I also kind of don't really want to have this place open anyway, just in case anything like else goes wrong, like a blaze somehow is able to like shoot at me or something. So anyway, basically we like press this button. This button is actually going to be placed here, but having it on the side does the same exact thing anyway. So once we press that, it actually goes into this pulse extender that keeps running the line round and round until it eventually like runs out. This repeater is going to keep on displaying the signal until this whole entire thing runs out. During that process, it's going to be powering this redstone lamp, powering the redstone, which powers this block, in which this torch can be attached to the piston. It basically activates the piston because that's how it works. I mean, I know I was said this like all this is powering and powering and powering. This technically is only activating the piston because of the nature of redstone torches. Maybe I'll make a video on that. I don't know. I doubt it, but well, maybe I will, but not anytime soon. So let's go ahead. Go to the front, be able to actually decorate this thing, and well, honestly, one of the things I've been really like alluding to and not really wanting to do though is removing the water to actually be able to implement this redstone, since this redstone is in fact meant to have it so that the water is basically right above what's going to be this block, I believe, since the torch is going to like it's not going to really matter about powering this block or not powering it, just because the piston next to it still needs to get powered anyway. So the water is going to be on this block to flow inward once this thing goes down when it does its whole thing. But that of course means I have to get rid of this water, and actually I also need water tiles, because Sunfire has all of those. So I'll have to ask him where those are and if I can use one. So I'll be back after that, and hopefully we'll be able to get the chests in. We'll see how much time we have, and whether or not that's actually a possibility right now. So I was heading over here to Sunfire's base to be able to actually go ahead and grab the water tiles. But I remembered something, and it was that in here is a bonus that I had because I proactively was able to create my base that had like a bunch of well, not a bunch of redstone, but this is kind of a weird piece of redstone anyway. But I was able to create that bit of redstone there and have my nice little office chair that I can actually sit in because it is a minecart. And yeah, I was able to get this. So I think it has like 10 diamonds in it. Yeah, I have like no space in my inventory because I only came with like one slot to get the water tile. And it's like to get to my office, I actually have to take out a piece of redstone from the chest like down there. So yeah, pretty much like I just didn't have the ability. I don't have the ability to gather this now. Maybe if I put stuff in my ender chest, I can. So hopefully that'll be all right. And anyway, on topic a little bit more is that I think at least that Sunfire might have all of his water tiles in an ender chest or something, so that I cannot actually collect them right now, which is a little bit unfortunate. Hopefully that will change later on in the episode. But for now, I guess we're just going to have to either play the waiting game, or we're just going to continue on and build the chests a little bit later here in this episode, just to make up for the lost time that we have in having to come over here and not find anything. I have no idea where they would be. So yeah, I'll catch back up in the next clip, whatever comes next. Alright, so I was told by Sunfire that we needed to go to the front of the base to be able to collect the water tiles that we need to be able to actually get this whole entire thing up and running. And here's something I haven't mentioned, but I did notice last time I came here, or one of the times I came here, is that he did actually put up a little Ghostbusters map here earlier. Even though I never actually come to the front of my house, just ever since I installed the nether portal inside of my storage system, I almost never use the main one anymore. But yeah, anyway, I was able to go ahead and realize, okay, now let's go to the front of the house this time instead of doing that. So anyway, sorry it took a while. Pictures of sad cats did the trick. Okay, so Sunfire's tears. Ah, okay, I see. I was like, what was pictures of sad cats? I don't get it. And then it's like, okay, so Sunfire cried himself some water tiles for us to be able to use in the project. So yeah, that's fine. We'll be able to go ahead and use those. And yeah, I'll catch you back up over at the Blaze Farm, in which we can place down all the stuff that we need to. Alright, so now we actually have one part truly set up now for the water softener. This right here, the water is flowing inward, able to take out the blazes immediately because I have this lever on the side here. I don't know if I'm going to implement the ability to have a lever on the side, like in the final design, because for the most part, you're not going to want it to do this. You're not going to want it to kill every single blaze that comes down. You're going to want to be able to press a button. It's going to soften up for you, and then you can like just hit them a little. So this is just here temporarily because I don't want the mob cap to be like occupied by all these blazes. So that's just the reason for that. Over here we have this little system. I unlocked it because I wanted to be able to test it was working, and I do have a sign there that is inside the system. We can probably even use it with the chest. It just goes ahead and spits it right out with this kind of circuit here. In Bedrock, it's a little bit different than how you would expect it to run in Java, but it still has basically the same concept. It goes ahead and activates the dropper by powering this block, so it's only like one bit of redstone different. Now up here, we can go ahead and use the rest of the water tiles, or well, probably not all of them, but for a little bit here, be able to plop into here, make sure I place these right, so that this one goes here. This one is here. I think if I place on like the glass, it'll work too, right? Yep, okay. So we can go ahead and... Oop! I wasted one. Okay, let's try not to waste one this time. So there we go. Place one here, and then one last one here. and then the items automatically flow into this hopper so that they can run down the line, because encased in these blocks is actually like hoppers. If I can maybe break one to kind of show, all these hoppers are actually like going in a line this way. They run into the chests so that all the blaze rods can go ahead, be inside of there. Even runs around the outside, goes past the minecart elevator, that's what this is here, to be able to fill in the chest on the other side. So it actually is fully functional. It did use a bit of iron, but I think it was probably for somewhat worth it. Maybe not completely worth it, but it's worth it for the coolness factor. How about that? We'll be able to have more than enough blaze rods. It probably won't even reach this side if I'm to be completely honest, but that should be everything working. Let's actually do one more test, maybe with actual rods. So in this chest were some rods that were already in the chest back when it was the older system. So all we do is just be able to kind of place them into here. It'll end up, yep, they do end up going above into the water, and they should be making their way into this bottom chest, because this one's the priority. It'll automatically go this direction, eventually ending up over there, and it should go to the bottom before it reaches the top. So in this chest, yep, in fact, the blaze rods are coming in the system quite well. We should have 63 of them. The dropper isn't firing anymore. So yeah, there we go, 62 of them. That's what we had before. So the system isn't lossy in some weird way. Maybe, do I have any glass on me? These are my chests that I've been using for like my random materials and stuff. I do have glass. One thing I want to make sure happens that I was like up there realizing is that I don't want any items, even though it's unlikely that this will happen, I don't want any items to like plop into the system from above, so that some random junk would get in there. So that should hopefully be able to make it work 100%. And that should be all for this episode, given that I fill in this hole with the stone bricks I have here, remove this lever. It'll be able to do its own like pulse extender thing, kind of like it normally does when it push the button, and then it'll turn itself off, and the water isn't there anymore. So obviously if I press the button again, these blazes are going to go ahead and be not so great anymore. But yeah, this place is a fully functional XP farm, and if you want to be able to get the XP that might be behind that slab there, all you need to do is just be able to walk up right here, and then you're able to get it. So there we go. This thing is working. All you have to do is be able to press this to turn it on, press the button again to turn it off before leaving, press that whenever you need to be able to soften the blazes up. And yeah, I like how this place turned out. Quite awesome if you ask me. But I want to know what you guys think, because this was posted on Instagram for a reason, so that most of you wouldn't see it. And I know that's a weird thing to say, but it's just, I don't really have very many followers on Instagram, so I know for a fact that it's like most of you wouldn't have seen this previously. But tell me what you guys think, and leave a comment down below about how you like this, maybe ways to improve it if you are thinking of them. And I realize now that this place isn't actually fully done, because I need to go ahead and replace this block here, and I'll probably gather the scaffolding, but you know, now it looks right. And I'll be able to clean that up a little later. So anyway, I would promise that the video would go on forever, but that would be a lie. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here to be able to catch up all my Craftaway content, as well as my other series. Be sure to like the video or dislike it, depending on how you feel about it, all that kinds of stuff. And yeah, until next time, this has been Frontline, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Bye.